Hey, what's up guys? This is Henry from Amani Lounge giving you guys a pretty cool deck profile. I came up with this deck last week and it is Rokket Dogmatika. This is a deck that I have actually found some success with. We had an in-house Amani Lounge tournament and I went undefeated in 4 rounds, not losing a single game. And I won locals as well yesterday, going 6-0, only losing like 1 or 2 games to Infernoble Handloop, and match-wise I went undefeated. I think this deck is really incredible. I was looking for a 40-card Rokket list and it seemed like it didn't exist. And then I was like, oh wow, Nadir Servant's actually just soul charging this deck, and I'm going to show you guys how. So yeah, let's get into the deck profile. So it's a 40, well technically 39 card deck, and we'll go by starters, extenders, necessities, bombs, and defensive cards. So to start off, we have our starters for our dragons. We have our 3 ciphers, our 3 tracer, our 3 quick launch, 2 chaos space. So this is for the dragon engine. So cipher, it's a 1-card combo. Tracer plus another extender plus another rocket is full combo. Quick launch as well helps you get into the combo. Chaos space I run at 2 just because you don't want to open with like a handful of spells. That can be pretty awkward, but getting the chaos dragons does like help you actually like play the game. And then on top of that, we are playing 3 copies of Nadir Servant. So Nadir Servant is a crazy card, and it's not just as linear as just splashing an Ecclesia on top of a dragon board. It actually has a cool interaction with a certain extra deck card that I play in my extra deck, and it allows you to extend your Rokket play even further, even with the restriction of being locked out of the extra deck. So I'll show you that towards the end of the video, but those are your starter cards for this deck. For your superior extenders are extenders that need no setup. So every Rokket is a superior extender. So we play 2 Magna, 2 Silver, 1 Metal, 1 Recharger, and 1 Opsa Router. So Magnum Dragon is good because it's an out to Dragoon, Red Eyes Dragoon. It's non-targetable, can't be destroyed, and this card doesn't target and it sends, so it's a perfect way to out it. Silver Rokket, you can banish their Dragoon before they even get to play it. Metal Rokket is good for destroys all cards that in its column before it was destroyed. And Recharger is good because it has an interaction, of course, with Striker Dragon, and Opsa Router to search off of, to send off of Ravine to search your Tracer. So those are your Rockets outside of Tracer. And then for extenders, additional extenders, I play 2 Noctivision, 1 of each of the babies. These can be like starters in a way, but they're more so extenders because they do need setup. And then you play 2 of the Boot Sector Launch, which is also like a searchable card, and then you play 1 of World Legacy Guard Dragon. It's like a hard once per turn, so like I just chose to play 1, but it's definitely a very good extender in this deck. So those are your dragon extenders, and then of course we're playing Dogmatika cards, so we're playing 2 copies of Ecclesia. You don't really want to see multiples of this card, but it also helps you get into your combo. I am siding Maximus, so it searches Maximus once it's sided in. And in that sense, it becomes more of like a starter card. Then I play 2 bombs. So my bombs are Iron Dragon Tiamaton and Chaos Dragon Legionnaire. So Chaos Dragon Legionnaire is pretty standard, searchable of Chaos Space and Cipher. And same thing with Tiamaton. Tiamaton is also a non-normal summonable dark dragon. And it can block your opponent out of using their extra monster zone. So what you do is you have your spheres, you have your Borlo Savage, and then you have the Link monster that's equipped off the Savage. So you always have 3 in a column, and then on your opponent's turn, it's a quick effect. If there's 3 in a column, you can special this to any column, destroy all cards in that column, and then that column can't be used. So if you summon it under their extra monster zone, they can't use that extra monster zone. So say you're playing against like Sky Striker, you just summon it under the extra monster zone. They can't go summon like a Kogari or anything. So it blocks links pretty much, and it destroys cards in its column. So it's a really good card. It's also like an extender. It could be turned into Striker Dragon, so it's a really good card in my opinion. And then for necessities, I play 1 Flare. It's a card that you don't really want to see. It's a light, which I guess helps with Legionnaire, but other than that, it's just a card that you want to search up Ecclesia. And I play 1 Fallen of Albaz. So Fallen of Albaz is a level 4 Dark Dragon that's searchable off of Nadir Servant, also as well as Ash Dragon, and it can be turned into Striker Dragon if you're not locked out of the extra deck. It also has another interaction where on your opponent's turn, off of spheres, you can summon this, and then pitch a card to summon a fusion monster with their cards. So you can contact fuse this and a Dragoon into select fusion monsters that I play in my extra deck. So it's another main deck out way to Dragoon other than Magna. So I like that interaction. And then I guess like consistency, I play the Ravine to send the Apta Router, and Upstart to make it 39 cards. And finally, for defensive cards, for reactive lowering cards, I play Ash Blossom, and for more proactive lowering cards, I play Dogmatika Punishment as a searchable way to have an interaction outside of board presence. So I set up with a board, and then if I have a Dogmatika card, I end with a Flare in my hand and a Trap set. So I always have a way to combat my opponent, assuming that I'm getting Dark Rulered or Forbidden Dropblade. So that's it for the main deck, 39 cards with Upstart. And then for the extra deck, this is the cool part. So I play 3 fusions. So Titanclad is one of them. Ents is like the normal culprits to send off Nadir Servant. And then the spiciest card, we play Borreload Furious Dragon. So Borreload Furious Dragon has 2 applications in this deck. So first of all, you can summon it if you're playing against any deck that has like a Dark Dragon. So if you're outing like a Boral Savage, you can go full on Alvalbaz and contact fuse with a Savage and summon this. Or with same thing with Dragoon, or if you're playing the mirror match with against like 60 card Rocket Link. But it also has another interaction where you can send it off Nadir Servant, and it has an effect in grave. In graveyard, you can banish it to summon a Dark Link monster. So you can summon your Striker Dragon. So Striker Dragon can summon back, and then Striker Dragon can target itself and Recharger in the graveyard. Add back Recharger, and Recharger pitch itself to summon any dark card in your graveyard. So if it's like past turn 3, you can summon back your Savage, or you can summon back like your Abomination. So it turns into your Servant, as well as Rhoda, as well as like Afterburners. It also turns it into Monster Reborn. If Abomination stays on the field, you can bring back Quad Boral Dragon, and Quad Boral Dragon can target the Abomination on the field and summon back up to 4 rockets from the graveyard. So Nadir Servant just gets a lot more explosive, farther into the duel that you go. So Furious Dragon is a pretty cool card in that sense. Then for the rest of our cards, we play 1 Savage to end on. We play 3 Striker Dragon. I think 3 comes up most times. I side 1 out when I side in the Shadal package. I side in 1 LP, 1 Pisty. That's it for Link 1s. And then for Link 2s, I play Quad Boral with Delingerous, Romulus, and Spheres. And I play 1 Abomination and 1 Boral Sword. But wait, it gets even spicier. So let's get into the side deck. So I think that this card is better than Nibiru in every sense of the word. 3 null material and 3 Dark Ruler. Like, I think that this card is better because if you're playing against rocks and they're starting their turn with Guardian, like you want to at least be able to use your hand traps rather than for them to hit a Guardian every time and being locked out of Nibiru. So those are my hand traps for combo, and then for back row I just play these 4. I also have Levianeer and Tiamaton as back row removal outs, and I also have 2 Chaos Space to search that. So I didn't really go too hard with the back row. And then when I'm going first, I side out 3 Ash, and I side in 1 Tactics, 1 Maximus, and 1 Schism. So this is just like if I get hand trapped, I can draw cards. Maximus is good because it turns Ecclesia. If you don't draw Servant, you can search the Maximus, drop the Maximus after you combo, and you can set up the Schism set, and then I side in these 2 Shadal fusions. So yeah, it makes it pretty broken. So the reason why I like this package is like, even if you get hand trapped early on, you can fall back on your Dogmatika cards, and you can just start playing Shadals out of nowhere, and it makes it really cool. So I really like this deck. I think it has maybe some points of improvement, but I like the idea of playing a lot of Rockets. I think people will dismiss how good Rockets are by themselves because they're pretty much all floaters, and in simplified game states, they're just really good cards. So I'm not really a subscriber to playing 60 cards and hoping to draw a combo because in reality you don't see your side deck as much, and I think the deck that best goes second wins a lot. So yeah, basically what this deck is you're getting the utility from the Rockets and the Dogmatika cards, without giving up the ceiling of playing a good deck. You know, because I feel like with the invoked version, you give up a lot of utility, or you give up a ceiling of comboing. If your Alistair gets stopped, you pretty much just lose right there. But with this deck, you have a high ceiling of using your Rokket cards, and then you can just fall back on your Dogmatikas. So that's pretty much the deck. Is Rokket Dogmatikas. It's the first version of it. I've done very well with this version. I'm going to continue to try to improve it. And stay subscribed to I'm So Angry. Also subscribe to Bamani Lounge for more of this crazy content. I'm going to be doing a combo video. So if you guys want to look at a combo video, you can hop on over to Bamani Lounge. The link will be in the description below. And until then, this is Henry Furchow from Bamani Lounge saying see you next time.